I'm here to talk about Exodus, the biblical prophecy of Exodus, when the Israelites were leaving the land of Egypt into their promised land. And that relates exactly to a lot of people's lives, especially in today's modern time. See, Exodus means many different things. It can mean to exit your hometown, whether it's relationships with people, friends, family, organizations. It could mean a lot of different ways. It is important that we understand when to exit certain things, because if we don't, we could be stranded and stuck in slavery and stuck in a position and place in an environment or territory that we don't belong to be in anymore. See, I'm a firm believer in Exodus because Exodus is what I went through. I used to live in old territory with old people, old mindsets, old habits, old things that I had to leave behind. I had to leave it all behind, all of it, to erase history, to begin a new history, a new beginning. And that is so very difficult to do. That's something that takes courage, takes faith to start new, to leave it all behind, to make the sacrifice, to know that, yes, I trust you, Lord. I trust you with everything. You got to give it all to Jesus. You got to give it all to Christ. Because if you don't, you will pay the hefty price when this life ends. And you got to answer you have to answer to God. It is best that you always take the right action when necessary. There's a time and place in life where you're literally living in Egypt, living in Babylon, suffering, being tormented, just basically, feeling like you're losing. But it is preparation. Just all these biblical, testimonies that people have gone through in the Holy Bible. People like Joseph, who literally was sold into slavery, and he was in prison for so long. And, he was basically screwed over in every aspect. But somehow, some way, by him being obedient to God and following his principles, he not only made it out of slavery, but he became king. He became ruler. He became powerful. The whole entire earth had to come to him when the earth went through a drought. So Exodus is very important to know when to exit and when to stay. Some people never exit. They always stay in their old territory, their old ways, their old habits. They don't have what it takes to change everything about themselves for the best. That is what is required to change. To change everything about yourself, about who you are. Your identity changes because now you are a biblical prophecy. This reveals that you're in covenant. You're in covenant with the Holy Spirit. You gave your life to Christ. You gave your life to Jesus Christ. And He'll show you things that you never even knew. This is why the narrow path of Jesus Christ is so much more difficult. This is why so many people don't make it. Because it is a very difficult path. Being a real Christian is not easy. In fact, it's probably the hardest thing you could ever do. Because it is the real way, the real truth. Jesus Christ is the life, the way, and the truth. You cannot go any other route. Because if you do, then you'll be confused. You'll be stranded. It is all about the principles of God. And it is all written in the Holy Bible to give us proper instruction. So even though these things have happened 2,000 years ago, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing as it was back then. The only difference is all the technology and the way the world is. We cannot stray away from the truth. And the truth is Jesus Christ. We must exit the old ways. We must exodus out of slavery. We must make it out of Egypt. We cannot stay in Egypt. See, it took the Israelites 40 years to get out of Egypt because it was all in their mind. They were stuck in their mind. You got to get out of your mind because God only took one day to get the Israelites out of Egypt, but it took 40 years to get the Israelites out of their mindset. So your mindset's everything. Now there is a process. Once you do change your mindset, you may still have to go through a process. But that mindset, that knowledge, that faith is all what's needed to just know when God is truly telling you and know that that is God and nothing else. We need to be obedient to what God says. And when God says something, that's what we do, and we do nothing else. So we are here together, united in Jesus Christ, to exit Babylon, to exit Egypt, and into our promised land. We will make it to the promised land through the Holy Spirit. He will guide us through the valleys. And nothing is impossible with God. So let's go out there and show the world who we are.